What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about NIO and how we just received news that the Chinese government is going to cut its government subsidies for NIO products by 20% in 2021. Now, before we get into all of that information, if you guys enjoyed this video, please go down and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button so you're never late on any one of these new videos that I put out, and you can stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks and maybe even learn about a couple of new ones. So if we go over and take a look at this article that was just released, we can see that new energy vehicle subsidies will be cut by 20% in 2021 on a year-over-year basis, according to the release from the Chinese Ministry of Finance. Now, the reduction is less. It's going to be 10% for electric vehicles used for public transportation and utility. Now, with this reduction, the subsidies for the NIO's newest model, the EC6, with the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, would fall from 22,500 won, and that's going to be $3,441, and that's the subsidy in 2020, to about $2,753 in 2021. So essentially what the government is doing, this is basically what it is. They're de-incentivizing people to buy a NIO car. With less government subsidies, they're not giving as much of an incentive for people to take actions in an environmental sense and be more environmentally friendly. NIO has received a lot of money from the Chinese government in the recent years. If we go over here, we can see that a big reason for NIO being competitive in the electric vehicle space is because of the support it receives from the government. Last year, the government supported NIO by offering it a RMB 7 billion. That's going to be $1 billion US bailout last year, providing the company some much needed financial support. If we go down on this sheet right here, we can see the previous NIO balance sheet, and they have about 11.6 billion Chinese dollars worth of debt. Now, we can go down a little bit and we can see that government subsidies have encouraged EV startups such as NIO to enter the market with ease. The company's alliance with this automobile group, or the JAC, a state-owned automobile manufacturer, has proved pivotal to its success. So basically, NIO is getting a jumpstart from the government for funding and in order to penetrate the markets in China and maybe even get into some other markets around the world. Now, this news comes right before NIO is supposed to have its NIO Day on January 9th. So what can we expect for this NIO Day? NIO is on track to announce a few launches at the event, including its first sedan. So this is going to be the ET7, and it's going to be competitive with the Tesla Model S. We don't currently know the price of this vehicle, but Tesla has said that about 47% of its sales in 2021 are going to come from the Chinese market. So if we can see NIO maybe undercut Tesla's price and come out with a very competitive product, we could see Tesla's market share shrink and NIO's market share go up, which would give NIO a higher valuation, which would be great for investors. We also can see that NIO is expected to announce the 150 kilowatt hour battery pack that will likely increase the range of its vehicles to over 900 kilometers. Now, this would give it a range of between 500 and 600 miles, giving NIO the number one spot in terms of range out of all of the electric vehicle companies in the world. So we can see that NIO is doing a lot of things in terms of innovation and technology advancement. They're also planning on reaching into the European market in 2021, which I will talk about in a little bit. I have a couple of different option plays that I'm going to be looking at to play this NIO Day. If you guys want to see exactly what those plays are, make sure you watch to the end of the video because that's when I will be going over them. Now, the next thing that NIO has done that is a very good sign for the company is they reached a deal to build 100 electric vehicle charging and battery swap stations in China throughout 2021. Now, this is going to be very important since they keep coming out with new battery models, and a lot of people have bought the previous models of the NIO car. If you have a previous NIO car, you can go to one of these battery swap stations, and once the 150 kilowatt hour battery pack is released, you can go and have your battery swapped out for the new battery, since the new battery is said to be fully compatible with all of the previous NIO models, and you'll have the new technology and a higher range in your car. NIO has also reached a deal with Mobileye to start producing robo-taxis in Tel Aviv, so we need to keep an eye on this to see if NIO can come up with a fully autonomous software, and if they can, and they can get it into their everyday vehicles and fully commercialize it, they will have the #1 spot in fully autonomous vehicles, and that would give them a much higher valuation than it has right now. As I've said before, a lot of what has to do with the valuation of these electric vehicle companies isn't really the sales numbers, even though we've seen the October and November sales numbers for NIO of 2020, almost 100% increase of those numbers in 2019. The technology that they put out is really what makes the value of the company. So when we look and see that NIO is coming out with all of this new technology, new vehicles, new batteries, robo-taxi deals in Tel Aviv, expanding into new markets, that's a really good sign for investors, because we can assume that the value of the company is going to go up in the future. Now, if we go over and take a look at the chart of NIO, we can see that on December 23rd, it was trading for about $47. Now, they kind of had a little bit of some issues over here because of the delisting bill that Donald Trump had signed. This essentially said that all of the Chinese companies that are traded on our exchanges will have 3 years to comply with all of our accounting standards, and if they can't do so, they will be removed from our exchanges. As you can see today, NIO is up 2.7% and is at 49.68. Now, this drop in the NIO share price, if you bought this dip, you made a pretty decent amount of money if you bought shares or maybe some weekly calls, but that would have been a little bit more risky because the implied volatility of the NIO option chain is so high. But since a lot of institutional investors were invested in NIO, and we can take a look at the 6-month chart and how much NIO ran up, it went from about $7 back in July all the way up to $55. The big institutions needed to rebalance their portfolios and sell off a little bit of their NIO position in order to have a balanced portfolio going into 2021. Now, all of them do this. It's not a sign for concern. Another reason why NIO might have had a couple of hiccups over here is some bank downgrades for the same reasons. It just ran up too much. It has nothing to do with NIO fundamentally as a company. I think NIO is going to go way higher in the future, especially in 2021, if we can see all of these technological advancements come full circle into the market. Now, if we go over and take a look at the option chain for NIO, this is going to be the January 15th expiration date. I've talked a lot about this $50 strike and how there was a very high open interest. And as you can see right here, there's 65,000 contracts that are out in the market, not exercised or closed, and 16,000 of these contracts were traded today. So this is a very popular contract. If we go even out to the 55s, this has a 47,000 open interest, and 10,000 of these contracts were traded today. Now, this expiration date covers NIO Day, but as you can see, these contracts are pretty far out of the money and are very expensive. And if you look at the money, they're pretty much at $5. So you're going to get a little bit over a double in your money if you bought these options and they were to go just in the money. Now, I don't like to play these types of options that are only going to give a double in value, because options are super risky, and basically all options contracts expire worthless on expiration. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't make profit before expiration. You can see right here, all of these contracts that are out of the money are up about 30%, but the implied volatility on the NIO option chain is just too high for my taste. So what I'm going to be looking at is LI. I just picked up some LI positions today. Basically, what I'm looking at is a sympathy to NIO. When you look at the chart of LI and XPeng, they're both electric vehicle companies in China, and they ran up a lot when NIO started to have its massive run up this year. So I'm predicting that when NIO has its NIO Day run up, it's going to bring up these smaller companies with it. So I bought, I think it was the 35s for about 85, and actually I think I bought these for around 80. So that's a decent price, and I have an upside Well, it's an unlimited upside, but I think if these contracts go in the money, they'll be worth about 225, maybe even a little bit more with an increase in IV. Now, we can see that the open interest on these contracts are not as much, but 6,000 open interest on the 35s, and 1,000 of these contracts were traded today. So it's not super low. The implied volatility is a little bit less, and the contracts are a little bit cheaper. So if you have a smaller account, I think LI is a good option to go for. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed the information that I had for you guys today, please go down and leave a like and hit that subscribe button and comment down below your thoughts if you're going to be playing NIO for NIO Day, and if you're going to be playing one of these other sympathy plays. I want to see what you guys have picked and what you're going to be playing so we can kind of compare and have a conversation in the comment section.